Alright, what's up guys? My name is Zach and today I am driving a 2014 Mobility Ventures MV-1. Up front is a 4.6 liter V8 and down below is a 4-speed automatic transmission. Now I am super excited to be driving this vehicle for one main reason. It's strange, it's weird, and it's unlike anything else on the road. Mobility Ventures was a company that specialized in building vehicles like this. This was their one and only project, the MV-1, which stands for Mobility Ventures 1, and it was used by fleet services and individuals who needed a purpose-built handicap accessible vehicle. And so I am so excited to share it with you today. But if you would like to share your vehicle with me, you can head on over to my website, zackpradel.com/submit. It's a quick and easy submission form, takes under a minute to fill out, and I come out to you. But let's get back to that 4.6 liter V8. Well, as you'll come to learn pretty quickly here, this is a mostly Ford constructed vehicle. So it has a Ford drivetrain. That is the modular V8 we've known and loved from the Explorer, the Crown Victoria, the Marauder, the Lincoln Town Car, the list goes on and on and on. Besides some coolant issues in the spark plugs, these engines are very, very reliable. It's why we've used them in our taxi cab for nearly decades. And of course it is a V8, so it has the torque to handle the job, and it makes 248 horsepower. Now there was also a CNG option, CNG meaning compressed natural gas, where the vehicle would actually run off of CNG, but this is not that. Like I said, paired to it is a 4-speed automatic. Now again, this is a Ford transmission, typically paired with the modular V8. However, in 2015 and 2016, they actually switched it to the 3.7 liter V6 from Ford and the 6-speed automatic from that same era. So it actually did get an update for the last 2 years, but this is just the 4.6 liter with the 4-speed. Last but not least, the MV-1 is rear-wheel drive. So how does it feel to drive an MV-1? It's interesting. You feel very, very large, and this is a body-on-frame construction vehicle. You feel a lot of the bumps. Now, normally I don't really care. However, the owner was telling me that people in wheelchairs who require a vehicle like this get tossed around a lot because there's not a whole lot of suspension built into a wheelchair or mobility scooter. And so they end up being the ones that take a lot of the brunt force, which isn't really good. So this is a little bit of a rough riding van. They've owned several other modified wheelchair accessible vans, and they said that this one rides as one of the roughest. So just something you might want to note. With that stuff out of the way, let's talk about the interior. Well, in front of me, we're right back to Ford with the gauges. Off to the left, I have my oil pressure and tachometer. In the center, I get my fuel and coolant temperature. And off to the right, I get my speedometer and battery voltage, as well as I do get a little digital readout for the odometer down in the center. The steering wheel looks right out of either a Ford or Lincoln product. However, it says MV-1. And off to the left, I have my cruise control option. So this is outfitted with cruise control. Off to the left, I have a climate control vent and my headlight switches with the gauge dimmer switches. And moving on to the door, I have my lock and unlock, power windows, and child locks. Moving into the center, I get 2 climate control vents and a Panasonic radio, which is actually the factory radio here for the MV-1. Because Mobility Ventures didn't have all the money in the world, they didn't want to spend it on a radio. So they just used whatever off-the-shelf unit they could muster up. However, down below that, we do have climate controls. So we do have fan speed off to the left, temperature in the center, where to send it off to the right, as well as some interesting buttons. So this is very familiar with Ford trucks. So we get 2 12-volt outlets, rear wiper and sprayer, hazard, and I can turn the ramp off if I really want to. I would imagine some conversations been had. Oh, I will turn your ramp off. I swear I'll turn it off. So kind of interesting switches there. Across the dashboard, I do have some cup holders because there is no airbag, because there is no passenger seat. This is where someone in a wheelchair would be strapped in, and we'll talk about that in a second, so no need for an airbag. So we do have cup holders, and I am very happy to report that the MV-1 can in fact carry the big friggin' bottle. Not only that, let's keep going. Down by the driver's right foot is another cup holder. And if you take the lining out, it too passes the big friggin' bottle test. So the MV-1 double passes the big friggin' bottle test. Now, my seat isn't super comfortable. It reminds me a lot of a bus or Ford E350 seat. I imagine on an extended journey, this wouldn't really be that comfortable. However, the big talking point with the MV-1 is the back. So let's talk about not only the rear seats, but everything associated with it. All right, so we are gonna talk about the back of the MV-1, but I gotta start out here, and I did leave it running because the ramp works better when it is running. So, open up the door like this. First of all, you will see we have some auxiliary lighting, which is super, super nice, super handy. And then we have our ramp options here. So we could do a short ramp, it's gonna be a lot steeper, or we could do a long ramp, and then we have in and out. So let's show off the long ramp. And there we go. So that is the ramp that comes out of the side of the MV-1. And we should just put it back in like so. It's actually pretty quick for what it is. I was expecting it to take a lot longer. Boom, bada bing, bada boom, we're done. Now, once the passenger is inside, there are these tie downs for their wheelchair or scooter. And so there's two up there, two back here. But as you can see, these little circles, you can move these anchors all around. So you can move it back so they're sitting more in the back. Rowan likes to ride up front, and I don't blame him, so his stuff is up front. That's my filming equipment. So we do also get regular back seats. So let's climb in here, close the door. And I know the angle's kind of crooked and terrible, but I'm in the back of an MV-1. Tons of space back here, as you would assume. These seats are not the most luxurious, but look at how much cushion is in them. They actually are pretty soft. I do get cup holders, fan speed back here, power windows, which is nice to see, and we do get a trunk. We'll hop out and take a look at that in a second. But if you are riding as a passenger back here, it's actually not bad. It's actually really, really squishy and really bouncy. So I actually kind of like it back here. It's kind of nice. Let's hop out. We'll take a quick look at the trunk and cargo space, and then we'll talk about the looks. Actually, before cargo space, something the owner told me, this is mostly Ford parts, but it has Chevy brakes, and a lot of the interior stuff is actually from a bus company, which is kind of weird. But anyway, around the back of the MV-1, big opening door like that, and we do get a spare tire and some cargo space for whatever you might need to haul, which is really nice. Nothing really crazy back here. But I just wanted to show off what the trunk looks like in a Mobility Ventures MV-1. Now we gotta talk about the looks, and this vehicle warms my heart anytime I see one. I get so excited because they're so kooky and weird that I just absolutely love it. It's like discovering the sixth sense or a brand new color that isn't on the rainbow. It doesn't look like it should make sense, but alas, here we are, and I'm driving one, and that is just so cool to me. This is a 100% custom body for the MV-1, so that to me is definitely very, very special. But with all of that being said, let's get on to my final thoughts. What do I think driving a Mobility Ventures MV-1? Well, I have to say, quite frankly, that this is nearly a dream come true. I have oogled over these vehicles for quite some time. I think they're special. I think they're unique. I think they're so cool, and they're unlike anything you see on the road. You couldn't just walk into a Mobility Ventures showroom back in 2014 and drive one off the lot. You kind of had to have a reason. You had to go through a separate dealer, just like you would any exotic car. I recently drove a Lotus Exige, and it was a similar deal. You had to know someone who knew someone that could get you one. Unless you're a big fleet manager, these didn't come easy, and so they're pretty rare, and since they stopped making them after 2016, they're only getting more and more rare. Lots of these are owned and driven by taxi services, who are very hard on their cars, and oftentimes those cars don't see the light of day after too many miles. So to be driving one is super, super special. But there's something else. This car, this van, this truck, whatever you want to call it, might be the most important vehicle ever. The owner, Rowan, who allowed me to take out his van, and I am super appreciative of, needs this van. It's his way to see the world. It's his main mode of transportation. And so, yeah, I might complain about the bumpy ride. I might complain about all of the little Ford idiosyncrasies found inside the van. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter, because Rowan gets to see the world through this windshield. He gets to experience life because of this van. And so driving this vehicle, it means a lot more than just a silly YouTube car review. It means the world to the owner and the owner's family. It's an open passageway that was previously blocked and cut off. This van has all my respect in the world, because on a couple of occasions, it's made my friend Rowan smile. And that's worth more than its weight in gold. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys enjoyed checking out this interesting and crazy, weird, strange van. Huge thank you to Rowan and, of course, his father for organizing this review. I cannot thank them both enough. They've been so gracious, so awesome to work with, and they have allowed me to achieve something I have always wanted to film. So huge, huge, huge thank you to them. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys.